Welcome to A Fine Podcast with your hosts, Amanda and
Joseph. Yes, we have returned to continue our blast in the past.
yes, of reviewing all of the couples of Love is Blind Season 9.
Yes, we are now talking about Madison and Joe.
Madison and Joe, I was so looking forward to this. Obviously, had a great time talking about Allie and Anton, so check out that episode if you haven't seen it already. But I'm so excited to get to Madison and Joe now.
Yeah. I don't know, this couple was...
Oh my gosh, craziness.
This one almost just felt like the whole time, like you just knew it wasn't going to work out. Like there
the
wasn't
entire
ever...
time.
Yeah, I mean, even from like the day one of well, maybe day two or whatever, but of the trip that they took.
But again, like in the pods, seemed like an okay match.
I don't know. This is why this whole concept to me is just, it works with a very small subset of people, but majority of people, it's just not going to work.
They can't take it out of the pods.
I think it's much easier to talk and agree with arbitrarily a voice, right? I mean, that's really all they are to you. So I think it's, and you're more right. You're kind of in this, I'd say like honeymoon phase, right? You're just starting out. You're going to be more agreeable or lenient than what you normally would be to someone because, you just want to be extra like nice.
But there's also like this enticing, like mysterious aspect about it. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to see what they look like. And so, yeah, you're going to be on your best behavior and try to be all nice and sweet and
right. So they're going to be more accepting or compromising of things than they probably are going to be in the real world, especially give it 6 months or something, right? After they've did it, and then that's going to fade away. So I like we saw quite a bit of that with this season, I guess, really. There's a lot of, I don't know, it just felt because there's just a lot of difference once they were in the real world with things. And I mean, basically from like day one.
well, from the first look, I think, it was just
right
over at that point.
Yeah, because Joe made a comment about that.
He said Madison felt like a stranger. And then he said, she's not my usual type. And then he continued to talk about who he's dated in the past and how they've been smaller than Madison.
Right, which that almost like immediately kind of really just kind of thought, all right, how is this ever going to work? But yeah, I mean, the whole reveal just didn't, which I don't know, right? Maybe you would think, I don't know, maybe he'll give it a shot or something, but you just kind of saw where he just did not. I feel like he just never opened up to her or really even gave her a chance.
Yeah, but all of that stuff started with his comments. He was into more petite women.
Right. It was like he saw her and he just completely like closed up at that point.
Yeah.
And then was just like going through the motions of things, but just really wasn't trying.
Which he shouldn't have dragged it out that long. I mean, that was ridiculous to continue on if he was not invested at all in this, especially since she trusted him so much at the beginning. She told him about her eye disease that she has and how she really wants a partner that will be there for her. And
then with the conversation of her mom when she visited, when he met her, and then all this like
so
of
sad.
like this.
They're like, will you take care of my daughter?
Yeah, and then
because she has the potential to go blind in the future.
Which I think for him, he just didn't, and he didn't even want that as a. I think that was something else that even like put him off to even trying to really try things.
Which that's really sad. But let's go back to the pods. So they initially connected. They had some playful dates in the pods. And they did some karaoke. They bonded over their love of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And then she revealed her eye condition. And Joe assured her and kept reassuring her that he would be there for her. And he wrote her a love letter that made her feel chosen. And then they got engaged by the end of episode 2. But then that's where Madison started to feel like a stranger to him. And he started making all of these comments and just in the confessional too, he said, I'm into thinner women. I would say usually that's just a preference. I'm not saying I wouldn't be interested in somebody that's kind of more, larger physique.
Yeah, I mean, for him, it just, I don't know. It felt like this probably was more of a TV thing because he wasn't really willing to even try, I think, the process at all. I mean, because he still just wanted his standard go-to or whatever.
And Madison is not huge. I mean...
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I guess he wants, like, rail thin, but... but yeah, I mean, I don't know. And that's just why it just felt like I don't think he even wanted to try to potentially entertain
he was
something
just
that would have been even outside of his normal.
Turned off immediately.
Right, yeah. He
and
wanted...
That really affected Madison because she mentioned that she developed an eating disorder after this, and she really took what he thought very seriously, and she had all these bad thoughts about herself, which is just sad to hear about.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's terrible.
Yeah. And then Joe was like, oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't know, like, all this stuff was going to happen. And
yeah. I don't know. There was just that, and I think definitely, like, two different maturity levels between them as well. And I don't know, yeah, I mean, at least they didn't even go to the altar because it was already such a disaster.
Okay, what I appreciated was how they added in Sabrina Carpenter's Man-Child song for when Joe had that complete look of panic and then dashed out of the tux fitting. Why did he last all the way to the tux fitting and then it started to get really real for him? He was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And he had like a panic moment. And he's like, I got to get out of here. I can't go to this wedding.
I almost think there was like some hope where she was going to, I don't know, like she was going to break things off or just realize like, hey, this is not worth it. Like, I guess he just didn't want to take the action to do it. And then it was the fitting and,
well, he was having a breakdown. He couldn't tie his tie.
Right. Like it then I guess was finally hitting like he's
about to get married.
Realizing, yeah, he may be stuck in this now. So he's just going to have to call it off. I don't know. Like it almost just felt like he wanted her to call it off so then he wouldn't be labeled the bad guy in this whole thing probably. But then it never happened and then she really just actually had appreciated him and then
so here's some things that happened after he had that freak out moment and ran out and then he was out of the whole series because they didn't really show a lot after that. But the actual breakup happened off camera that night. Joe told Madison, you're not it. I'm going to say no at the altar if we go. But then they filmed a stage version the next morning between the two of them, basically saying that same thing. So
I'm sure the production crew was like really really mad.
They're like, come on. Why did you have this conversation off camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably really mad. But Madison was unaware of Joe's meltdown at the Tux place. And then he went out that night with other cast members and she saw him with Casey and he was like, they were touching each other or something. She had two hands on his chest. So.
Oh, right. Well, hold on.
There's a lot that comes up. Yeah. For that.
Yeah. Well, but
she said Casey had googly eyes for him.
Yeah. But even, I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. We're always getting ahead of ourselves. We need to go all the way back because we didn't even talk about the pool party disaster in Mexico.
Yeah. I was going to say
we have to talk about that.
Yeah. We're like getting away. Yeah. Cause I want to go back right. So he gets, I mean, just
obliterated
at this thing,
totally blackout, wasted.
Yeah, I mean, I could like barely even see any iris. It was like crazy how dilated his eye was. But yeah, I mean, he was like a drink away from needing to like go to the hospital or something. Like alcohol poisoning.
How can they let people drink this much? Or are they like, yeah, here's another drink. I mean, it's up to him to control it, obviously, but
yeah,
but still. It seems very heavily encouraged because everybody was drunk, or a lot of the men were acting up, and
Yeah.
but he was on like another level from everybody else. It was scary seeing this, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, him and then oh gosh, I forgot his name now. The guy who dated Megan.
Jordan,
Jordan, yeah.
yeah,
Like they definitely. Well, I don't know.
they were
I
like
mean,
laughing together.
Jordan seemed, but I don't know because Jordan was a little more of a little more out there. I felt like so. I'm sure some of the drinking was involved, but like it didn't seem as obvious. Where like Joe, you could just like, I mean, it didn't
I
take
mean,
much to notice that
Joe
he
could
was
barely
just
speak,
right.
and Jordan could still speak, but he was not acting like himself. He was acting a little bit crazy.
Right.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at least the those two. I mean, because they're very. But just in the where there was the comment where it was like, oh, I guess it's like you two should, you guys should, you found each other apparently instead of us or something. But
yeah, you guys would be happy with each other. That was crazy.
But anyway, yeah, I mean with Joe and then having to leave the party early and just hang out, and then that whole fight at night when Madison went back up to the hotel room to check on him.
Okay, this was crazy too. So Madison goes to check on him. Obviously, he was like so wasted, and then at least he had the good choice to put himself in bed and just like try to go to sleep or something. Or I bet he was just like, his body was breaking down at that point. He's like, I have to go to sleep and get out of here.
Oh yeah.
So then he's like going to sleep. And why would you try to wake this man when he is out of his mind to have this conversation? So she goes to have the conversation. He's like, what? Like he like didn't even recognize like the outfit she was wearing. He's like, oh, when did you change into that? She's like, I was wearing this the whole time.
Well, it was, yeah. I mean, it felt like, I don't know. She, I guess, should have just known to like
Leave it
wait
alone.
to even try to have anything. But I guess the problem was, right, she didn't. This is like what, the second day or something that she's seen him in person, actually interacting with him, and so she doesn't know how he's behaving or acting normally, right? And he kept trying to play it off, right? He's like, oh, I just feel a little sick or something, or I mean, he wouldn't like admit to the like, I'm just wasted right now and I need to go to bed. But
he was almost on like a different planet when she woke him up. He was like, who are you? Like
oh,
he
yeah,
almost didn't even know who
for
she
sure.
was.
Well, he kept saying the same things over and over and over. There was just this repeat of an argument, like it.
Like the same sentence over, like rephrased. But
yeah, and then he'd bring it back up, like But so I guess she didn't really.
And she's like, what? What? She was like taking everything seriously that he said.
Right, and I guess she didn't want to assume that he was just wasted, I guess, or something. Because with him just saying that, well, I'm just not feeling well, I'm gonna go up. So then she was just like worried to go check on him. Like, I don't know. I guess I should have thought put the two and two together. Like it's pretty obvious. Like
yeah,
especially with the slurring and everything. Like I don't know, but yeah. I mean, then trying to her to go check up on him and then have the conversation was just like
pointless because it's going nowhere, and who knows if he's even going to remember some of this in the next day. So
yeah, I mean that whole thing was just kind of a wasted thing.
So they fought a lot about that after too, and they ended up not sleeping in the same room as each other and a whole bunch of issues.
They had the big argument. They're back together the next morning, and of course then he's a little bit more in his right mind. I don't think he's still 100% fully recovered, and they kind of, I don't know, I guess because it's just first argument or whatever, and they kind of get back together and get past it and move on. But this already was seeing, right, if this is how crazy he could get from this event, right, it could, maybe it just happened to be because everyone was there and just the pressure, I'm sure, from the production team or something, but it just kind of felt like this could, I don't know, to that degree, this could be a recurring thing, right? Or I would be nervous about that happening in future, or even, right, like the reunion, or not the reunion, but the
The
mixer that they
the
had,
mixer,
right?
that's
Like
the
that,
word
which
for it.
he ended up being pretty crazy in that one because like the comments he was saying to Patrick and that one talking head of his
Oh, yeah,
was
what
like,
did he say? That was crazy.
I think it was just something about like him not, I don't know, like him basically being ugly or something, or he was just kind of nerdy and like he really shouldn't be a part of this group or something.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty like,
Pretty crazy.
yeah. But you could see there, right? He was already in like this pretty crazy, not as bad as the trip one, but it was still like
I don't think you can get worse than the trip
pretty.
one. I mean, yeah, you can get, or it would be hard to get as bad. That was really bad.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, there's clearly a problem here, or he's just in this setting where he feels like he has to overdrink to compensate. I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot. It reminded me of Dave in one of the last seasons. Remember Dave at the mixer? Dave and Lauren?
Oh, yeah.
And he like could barely speak at the end of that and was like stuttering and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot of drinking goes down at these things. But
Right.
yeah, I think Joe was overall very uncomfortable about the whole situation too. He was not attractive to Madison, didn't know how to cope with this whole thing, and that added to a lot of the issues. And then Madison was very much trying to just cling on to this relationship, try to understand Joe as much as possible, and just trying so desperately to be the right fit for him. But yeah, I think Joe should have never met her family. They shouldn't have had that dinner because that was towards the end, right before they broke up, right? So just making that connection with her family is sad when you're about to break up and he
Well,
has no
especially all
intent.
the, I mean, just all the empty promises to make with all this stuff too. It's just, especially when you were like, I don't know, for him, he had to have known at this point, like, there's no way this is gonna happen. So
Right.
I don't know, to
I
just
think he
go
knew,
through the
yeah.
motions and just to say all that was like, I think
It's like,
just
wow.
terrible.
Yeah, very bad.
Yeah.
Man-child.
Yeah.
That was great. So let's talk about the post-show drama. So revealed at the reunion, Joe and Casey dated for about a month and a half after the filming ended, and they were each other's third choice in the pods. So something did happen with Joe and Casey. So that scene that Madison witnessed the night of him dipping out of the tux, that whole situation, he was, canoodling with Casey in the corner, and she saw, which led to some dating.
Yeah. And
So maybe he was more attracted to Casey.
well, and I almost wondered too, there could have maybe even been like, right, because I guess there's some way they can probably figure out how to get even other people's, or actually that was after the mixer, right? Anyway, which I
What?
think the tux fitting.
Oh, yeah.
Which he would have probably already talked to Casey, I think.
Or he would have seen her,
Right.
talked to her.
Well,
Right.
during the mixer thing,
Right.
and probably got her number and then started talking to her, and then.
Well, I think they were all out after the tux thing.
Right. Yeah, I think a couple of them
Right.
went, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's probably where it happened. And then that, I think maybe that was helping, I guess, solidify, or definitely turning things off with him, because I'm sure they were probably communicating after that, and
Right.
then that was just.
See, there's something about being attracted to somebody in person, because he's like, wow, as soon as he saw her, he's like really attracted
Well, it's like
to her.
it keeps to be showing up now. Apparently, like these mixers, right, where they finally see each other, and then they're almost like, "Wow, let me just."
That's who I missed out on.
Like they could almost, I don't know. I mean, just just make the show. Just get all 32 people in a room together, and then
Right.
let them pick.
Can they talk through a glass wall? Maybe the whole thing is they can't touch each other, or like shake hands, or
right.
like. But you're through a see-through wall. You're having these conversations.
Yeah.
And you could just retitle the show "Love Is Not Blind." Parentheses, as we've learned from the past season. Parentheses.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So they tried for a little bit, but then it didn't work out.
work
But then
out.
he's already talking to another person,
Yep.
and so I don't know. He just seems like I don't think he's very interested in the marriage part. He just wants to kind of date around.
So at a cast pool party months later, Casey told Madison that they're Eskimo sisters. And this comment really upset Madison quite a bit, which, yeah, that's kind of a weird comment to make to somebody.
Yeah, well, just the whole. I don't know. I mean, I think it just showed how. I don't think Joe was in this at all. It was just a TV thing for him to get on a show, and that was pretty much it. So I don't think there was very much.
But the Casey involvement, Madison kind of blames that for affecting her engagement with Joe.
Well, oh, sure it did, but
But I don't think he still would have went through with it if he didn't
no.
connect with Casey, right?
No,
Or it just would have been an awful match, and thank goodness he.
Well, it would have
didn't
been.
go through with
it
it.
never would have lasted anyway. So I mean, she should say, but she ought to be probably thankful because I mean, it just helped stop the inevitable sooner. So
Well, anyway, I hope Madison is moving on to better things. It seems like things are much better for her now anyway. And Joe, hopefully he's maturing up.
he still needs some time, I think, before a marriage is a
serious
thing
commitment.
for him. So,
But Madison deserves somebody that will be there for her.
yeah, no, I think there's someone much better for her to have, and yeah, hopefully she will find the person for her.
And another couple that didn't work out, Madison and Joe. But man, it was entertaining.
I mean, theirs was, I think, the easiest. Well, I don't know about the easiest, but it was just the most glaring. It felt like the whole time, it just felt, oh, there's just no way these are committed. Which, like I said, I mean, I think Joe was pretty much checked out as soon as he saw her. So
yeah, he was like, well, this isn't for me. But he lasted all the way till episode 11. So that is pretty crazy.
I mean, at least, I guess.
You think he just gave it a chance?
No, but I guess at
never,
least have
right?
the decency to better, I guess, say no before the altar. At least because, I mean, he had to have known it for so long. So at least, because, I don't know, if you knew that long, why would you even wait till
episode
say
11?
So,
Crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, could you imagine if you waited till the altar? That would have been terrible.
Well, I think actually, think the Cassie conversation probably helped him end it sooner.
Yeah.
Probably because she was probably like, break up with her, so then we can hang out.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
probably what gave him the
Well,
motivation
maybe,
to do
yeah.
it, probably. So
Yeah. And that's what motivated the producers to put man-child over Joe running away from his tux fitting.
yeah.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. So next week, guess who we are reviewing?
Who is it?
Annie and Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of fun there, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely had
Some key moments.
some moments. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we will get into that next week.
Thanks so much for tuning in to A Fine Podcast.
Yes, thanks for listening, and check us out on social media and like and subscribe.
Yes, and stay tuned for next week. We will be going over Annie and Nick and all of the other couples of Love is Blind Season 9.
Yes, tune in. We'll see you then.
We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Goodbye.